Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, dear participants. My name is Lukáš Vartiak, and I am from Comenius University in Slovakia. I hope you will enjoy this workshop that is focused on effective communication. The main aim is to present all of the tools and all of the communication styles that can be used by managers. Let me share my slides with you. So what is an effective communication? Effective communication means type of communication that can help us to be successful. Usually managers know that communication is the key, and without effective communication, without knowing how to communicate, the team cannot work. Whether leading a team or when you want to negotiate some terms of business with your stakeholders, when you want to resolve conflicts or just present any ideas that you have, you need communication. Communication is something that can help you distinguish between failure and success. So if you do not want to fail and you want to be successful, you have to maintain communication techniques that are effective. In communication in general, we have to focus on trying to understand other people, plus trying to be clear, precise, and trying to engage something that is called active listening. Active listening is focused on not only listening to people, as I already told you, but also at utilizing the conversation. So it means that you know how to react. Plus, nonverbal communication is also needed because sometimes you don't need to use the words, but people know what you mean. One of the fundamental aspects of effective communication is trying to recognize and trying to adapt to different communication styles. It means that managers must be sure of interaction with other individuals, and these individuals are usually diverse. It means that every person is unique, and when we want to speak to someone or interact with someone, we have to maintain our communication according to this person and according to how this person can and will react. We call it fostering an inclusive and collaborative environment. And when we understand the communication styles, everything that we will be communicating about can be clearly understood. We have four main communication styles. We will go through all of them, and then we will present also examples and what is good and what is wrong with these examples. The first and the only positive type of communication is assertive communication. Assertive communication is the most effective because it involves expressing your thoughts, expressing your feelings, but in the way while you respect others. Assertive communication means that you are a confident person and you want to present your confidence to other people. You want to be direct, and you also want to not only focus on your needs, but also on the needs of other people. So let's check the example. A manager holds a meeting with their team and says, I understand that we all have different workloads, but I need this project completed by Friday. Let's discuss how we can divide the task fairly so no one feels overwhelmed. Please share your thoughts on the best approach. So this is what a manager that is assertive says to the team. The first part of the saying is that manager tells that he understands that everyone has their own job and everyone has to do something. But there is always a but. Manager offers to discuss how to efficiently and effectively finish the tasks. So Why this type of communication is effective? Because there is a clear statement of expectations. Also, the manager encourages open dialogue with other people, and this means that this is the collaboration, or we can call it collaboration, and the manager shows respect because the manager wants them to know that they are important and they can present their opinions. We have second type of communication, and this is called passive communication. Passive communication is not really considered to be a positive style because it avoids, or it means avoiding confrontation. And usually people that are passive in communication struggle to express their thoughts, their feelings, and they can be ignored. So it means that these type of people tends to comply with others' demands. They do what you tell them to do, but usually they are misunderstood and tasks that they should do are misunderstood. This is example of passive communication. We have an employee that is given extra tasks despite already being overloaded. Let's be honest, this is one of the main problems of all of the companies and organizations, that people are overloaded with work. Instead of voicing their concerns, this employee says, sure, I'll take care of it. However, they struggle to meet the deadline and feel frustrated. So even before this employee agrees, they know that there is not a possibility that they can get the job done. So they are passive in communication. It means they just accept what they are supposed to do, and they do not express their opinion or feelings. So this is ineffective because employees have limitations, and if you do not express their limitations, it means that people or your managers cannot know about your limitations and about what you can or you cannot do. Then, this passive communication leads to burnout, which means that people that usually do all of the work and all of the work tasks, and they do more and more and more, they can be burned out, and managers remain unaware of the issue. So when someone tells you that they will take care of it, you do not think about it anymore. So managers don't know that there is a real problem. Then we have aggressive communication, which is the exact opposite of passive communication. Aggressive communication is also not positive. It means prioritizing your own needs and you don't care about others. So your needs are above others. Also, this leads to fear and resistance from other team members. So when someone communicates with them aggressively, they do not do the work, they do not do the task because they will struggle to believe that this is good for them and for the company. An example of aggressive communication. We have a supervisor that notices a mistake in a report and responds by saying, "This is completely unacceptable. Do you even pay attention to your work? Fix this immediately or you'll face consequences." So again, situation is that someone finds mistakes in the report and they said this. So why is this type of communication ineffective? Because there is intimidation. There is no constructive feedback. There are no pointing out at positives of the report, only negatives. It creates a hostile work environment, so it means that people are or feel trapped in the work, and employees may feel fearful rather than motivated. So I fear that in the future that I will do something like this, it will again be incorrect, and I again will be threatened by someone. Last type of communication, and we all know this type, is passive-aggressive communication. So passive-aggressive communication is called passive-aggressive because you are aggressive inside, but on the outside, you act passively. So it involves indirect resistance. Indirect means that I resist, but I do not tell or show others. It can foster miscommunication. So when someone is passive aggressive, it can cause miscommunication. And also, the toxic environment is most common result of such communication. Example of passive-aggressive communication. A colleague is upset about not being invited to a meeting, but instead of addressing it directly, they sarcastically say, "Wow, must be nice to be included in important discussions. I guess my input isn't needed anymore." So, what this employee could have done was telling people that, okay, I think that I should be invited to this meeting because, but this person didn't say anything like this. So this is again ineffective type of communication because it avoids direct confrontation, it expresses resentment, it creates tension. Workplace becomes a place where people feel not good, and it prevents open and honest communication. So when we put all of these four types together, I think that passive-aggressive communication is the worst one. How can we tailor communication for inclusivity? It means that, let's say, in other words, we want to be friends with everyone. Is it possible? No, but at least we can be nice to each other and we can be polite. So first, what we need is clarity and precision in communication. So it means that we have to get or provide well-articulated message. Such message minimizes misunderstandings and maximizes efficiency. What is important is clarity, and what is essential is that clarity must be used or presented not only in oral way but also in written way and even in non-verbal communication. There are several techniques. 5 of them are, for me, the most important. The first one, we have to avoid unnecessary jargon and elaborate explanations. We have the key points that we have to stick to, and everything else is redundant. We should keep the messages accessible, so it means that the language should be simple because we want to be sure that everyone understands. Messages must be logically structured, and there should be some clear format for everyone, that people know that there is introduction, there will be conclusion, and in between there will be some main points presented. And what is really important is that we have to come from understanding. This is called a feedback and effective feedback. We want to know if people understand, and we want to let them know that we understand. And last but not least, we have visual aids such as charts, graphs, and other messages. What is clarity? Clarity, as we already mentioned a few times, is something that we have to use, but we have to use it in different communication contexts. We have written, verbal communication, and we should deliver some kind of feedback. So clarity in written communication means that we have to be clear in emails, in report, in any other messages such as memos, and we have to be clear, and we have to be sure that people understand what we want to tell them. Verbal communication needs clarity too, because during meetings and presentations, we have to be sure that people understand what we would like to present, and after that, they understand what we want them to do. And feedback delivery means that we need constructive feedback. We don't need feedback that will present us only with positives. We need feedback with negatives and positives, but also negatives can be presented in a polite way. Another term that is really necessary to adopt is active listening. Active listening means that you look at people and you actively listen, so you understand. We have to give full attention to people, so it means that we maintain the eye contact. We do not have to be, or we do not want to be distracted by anything. So we avoid interrupting. We avoid interrupting their speech, and also we don't want to be interrupted by anyone. We summarize and reflect. So sometimes if we are not sure, let's rephrase it back. So by saying this, did you mean that? And ask open-ended questions. Open-ended means that question will be answered. There is no other question that is needed to be asked. And show empathy. You should show your emotions, but not too much, because we are still talking about managers and business communication. What are the benefits of active listening? Because when you ask yourself, do I have to actively listen to people? Yes or no? The answer is 100% yes, because when you look at it from the other side, you also want other people to actively listen to you. And when you listen to people actively, it means that you enhance their trust. People feel that they are understood and that you value them. Improves decision making. When you want to make any decision and you listen to others, it can help you. And it reduces conflicts. Again, you have to listen to people and find out if they have any problems or if there is any problem that should be solved somehow. Another key point is managing difficult conversations. As managers, usually you get into difficult situations, and difficult situations are usually linked with difficult conversations. So difficult conversation can be about performance of your employee, or about conflicts that can happen between employees, or any other sensitive topics. But be careful. What is sensitive to someone else may not be sensitive to anyone else, or what is not sensitive to you can be sensitive to someone else. So there is a thin line that you should focus on, and effectively handling difficult conversation means that there is or it's considered to be a prevention of conflicts and escalating conflicts in the work environment. How can we manage a difficult conversation? We have 5 main strategies that you have to follow, or at least follow a few of them. When you know that there is a difficult conversation waiting for you, prepare for it. You have to present the facts, not assumptions, but facts. You have to be prepared for possible reactions because you know who you are going to talk to. You have to be professional at all times, so it means that you have to stay calm. You have to be neutral. You have to maintain a tone that is not aggressive and that shows people that you are calmed down, you are okay, and you are here to solve the problem, not to escalate it. You have to be direct, but also honest and polite. Sometimes negatives are things that people do not want to hear, but if you present the negatives in a polite way, they can accept it. Active listening, we already know about it, and you should focus on solutions, because if you focus on discussing and discussing and discussing and digging into the problem more and more, you can miss the solution or focus on solution. And you discuss difficult situations because you want to solve them. So we have four main types of difficult conversations that managers can meet with. The first is performance review. So sometimes we are not happy about performance of our employees. That is why we have to provide them with feedback. But this feedback must be constructive, and also we call it constructive criticism. Conflict resolution is another way that we must adopt, and it means that we call it a mediation. So we have a dispute and we want to mediate it effectively, so there is no harm to anyone. Salary negotiations. These are one of the most difficult conversations because people just want more and more. But do they deserve more? If they do, we are okay. If they don't, we have to explain why. Handling complaints is also another difficult conversation, but when we have a complaint, we should be empathetic and we should be professional to solve it. When we maintain active listening and handling difficult conversation, and we know how not to be aggressive or passive-aggressive or passive, but assertive, there are key aspects of nonverbal communication, because when you talk to someone, they are looking at you and they see your eyes, they see your face, your expressions, your smile, your hands. The whole body of yours is moving in some way. So the first what is necessary is to maintain open postures and use gestures to reinforce points. So open postures means that you have your eyes open, your mind open, and your body should also demonstrate it. In facial expression, smile is okay, but not in a difficult conversation. Then sometimes when you show your disagreement or disappointment, your face shows it for you. So be careful and not do it. And the tone of your voice is really important. When you raise your voice, it doesn't mean that you are right. Because some people, when they do not have arguments, when they do not have arguments that are based on some facts, it means that they raise their voice and they think that the louder they speak, the more and more they are respected. But it is not true. And maintain eye contact. I know that eye contact may sometimes be difficult to maintain, and also when you talk to someone you don't like, or when you talk to someone that you fear, but this is the key for a manager to be an effective communicator. Then when we have nonverbal and verbal communication, we have to mix it together, but not mix it to mix the signals, but to mix these two types, because mixed signals means when someone says, yeah, I'm fine, but they look completely frustrated, so you are not sure, are they fine or not? Okay, so this is confusion. We should ensure consistency between words and body language. So if I'm really fine, I can say it, of course I'm fine, with a smile on your face and confidence in your body. Then be mindful of cultural differences, because other cultures express their feelings in other ways and use their body language in other ways. So sometimes when they do something that you don't, it doesn't mean that it is wrong. And practice awareness of their non-verbal cues and to enhance message effectiveness. Message effectiveness means that when you present something, it must be received effectively. And when you present it and use your body language, it is just a great support. So verbal and non-verbal communication must be aligned. There is a short conclusion for you. We already know that effective communication is indispensable management tool. So it means that it is crucial, it is key, it is essential, and we have to foster it. Because if we want collaboration in our team, if we want productivity, if we want people to trust us and to consider us leaders, we have to communicate efficiently and effectively. Managers can lead more successfully and create positive workplace environment by understanding communication styles. So if you know about your people, when they use passive or aggressive or passive aggressive or assertive type of communication, and you know them, it means that you can understand them better. And usually, types of communication that are negative are used because there is some problem. And if you use your communication skills, if you engage active listening, if you are trying to be empathetic, and if you want people to give you an honest feedback, this is all you need for your communication in workplace to be effective. When you can master these communication skills, it means that you are a great leader. You are a strong leader, and the whole entire organization can be successful. Success can be long-term only if you can maintain the communication skills that we just presented. So don't forget about the examples. Don't forget that it is necessary for you to actively listen to people and to get the feedback from them. Also, have in mind that difficult situations lead to difficult conversations, and you as a professional, a calmed down manager, must be able to successfully go through it. So thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. If you have any questions, or if you have any other examples that you want to tell me about, or if you have questions about how to solve the problems at your workplace, feel free to contact me. And I hope that in the future we will meet at another presentation, another topic, and hopefully sometimes in person in some other conference or venue. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of presentations and workshop, and have a nice day.